again, for those that are just coming in, I want to make a couple of quick announcements. Refreshments are still available in the back hall, so you can exit out either through the side or the back doors and help yourself. There's camera set up, sound set up, and all that, and you can come back in. So we want you to be as comfortable as you can. And last announcement that I have before I interrupt the program again, we can fill up the seats in the front, so feel free to kind of keep moving up. So with that, as I mentioned, we're very honored to have here with us several dignitaries, and Congressman Bill Foster, who is a scientist and a businessman, and our U.S. House of Representatives of Illinois 11th Congressional District. A huge round of applause. Prior to serving for office, Mr. Foster spent over 20 years as a particle physicist at the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory in Batavia. It gives me great honor to have Mr. Foster here with us, and I ask him to come up and say a few words. Mr. Foster.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank everyone from the entire community who came out today. You know, as was mentioned, I'm a scientist. And in science, there is no room for lies. And as a scientist, I understand the tremendous contributions to science, to mathematics that have been made by Muslims throughout history. You know, I spent most of my career studying the details of what's called the standard model of high energy physics, which was the three inventors of that theory, which is the pillar on which all modern particle physics research contains. It's called the GWS model for Glashow, Weinberg, and Salam, where the Salam is Abdul Salam, the two Jews and a Muslim. And they provided the fundamental insight that physicists have been working on, for the entire 25 years that I was in physics. And so this is, so you don't have to tell me the importance of the contributions that Muslims have made for, throughout their history to civilization. But it's especially important now because one of the things that's under threat today is truth. That politicians, including some at the very top of our country, are systematically promulgating lies. And because lies are an essential part to promulgate hate. You cannot have hate without lies. And this is why we have to stand up for the truth as much as we have to stand up against hate. So the truths that you will perceive from everyone who's not Islamic, who's visiting here today, about the truth about Islam are probably the most important single thing that can come from this meeting. Last weekend, our office had a not too dissimilar meeting at the Islamic Center of Naperville. And when we called this meeting, we were worried. We thought that maybe we would have a small number of scared members of the Islamic community and no one else. Well, guess what? The prayer room was overflowing, past standing room only, with members of the entire community. It looked like America. Members of every race, it looked like America. And so I was so proud of the support that we got there, and it's the identical support that I'm seeing here. So thank you all. What you're doing in a time of hate, there is nothing more important than standing up against those who promulgate the words of hate and those that support them. Because both are important. Everyone has to stand up and say no when these messages of hate come out. So thank you all for being here.